So guys, today I wanted to do a fish cake. You know, I did the crab cakes and I wanted to do a fish cake because I ate a lot of fish cakes. This is a Caribbean thing. I think it's also a Portuguese thing. We used to eat the fish cake with the salted fish, the codfish, the cured salted codfish. So now we're going to use the mushrooms because we're looking for that fishy flavor. So I'm gonna do a fish cake for you with the mushrooms. So let's do this. So we're only going to use a few ingredients in our fish cake. We're going to use some thyme. I have like a bunch of thyme here, about this, and I want a lot of thyme in my fish cake. Thyme and fishy things go so good together. Okay, so I'm going to use only thyme, some red onions, and some two green onions that I chopped up here, and this is half of a red onion that I chopped up, and absolutely for me habanero pepper. So the habanero, I have the red habanero here, the green, and an orange yellowish one. So I have to have habanero in my fish cake. I mean, it gives it a really good flavor, and I like the heat. So what I do is I'm not going to put the seed. So what you can do is you can just cut around the habanero like this. Cut around it and leave the seeds. You see this? I'm going to discard this because I don't want the seeds. The seeds are really the thing that is really hot. This is not hot in my opinion. So I'm going to do one habanero pepper in my fish cake. And I wanted to talk to you about the oyster mushrooms because I realized that all oyster mushrooms are not made alike in terms of the color and the fishiness. This here, it has a very light cream color. There's even some yellowish, like a yellowish tinge on the edge of this here. This is so fishy. It is out of this world fishiness. It is so fishy. I wish you were here to smell how fishy it is. You see, this is what an oyster mushroom look like. It is so fishy, this one, so fishy. This one here is a little darker in color. But this is also in this packet here, which looks like the other one I just showed you. But you see the difference. This is more like a fan shape, and you can see the gills in here. And if you turn it, you see this part here, like the root is very light. But when I smell this, it's not fishy at all. Not fishy at all. And then this one looks completely different from the other two. And it's a bit soggy. So I don't know. I mean, this is nature. This has no fishy smell at all. Even when I break it apart and I smell it, it doesn't smell fishy at all. So this is FYI, when you're going to buy mushrooms, try to get this one because this is out of this world fishiness here. Out of this world. You could smell the fishiness from a million miles away. And I want my fish cake or my crab cakes to be really fishy. That's the point. That's the point of having this alternative. So what I'm going to do is, since this is so fishy, I'm going to combine it with this one that is not so fishy to make my fish cakes. So I'm going to use two of these packets here with the other ingredients that I explained to you, and of course flour. So when we get back, I'm going to show you exactly how I put everything together. So I chopped up my mushrooms here. These are the ones, you can see the difference in color, but it's all oyster mushrooms. So all oyster mushrooms are not alike. You know, this is nature. Nature is beautiful, but it's not perfect. So I wanted to show you, I found this in the mushrooms. This, if you see something like that, you discard it because it was really, really bad smell. Okay, it's supposed to look not like this brown. It's supposed to look this pretty creamish color. So if you see that on the mushrooms, you throw it out. The thyme, I'm not going to chop up the thyme. I'm just going to do this like reverse, backwards, to remove the leaves from the thyme. Like this. You just pull it back and remove the leaves from the thyme like this. So we're going to do our fish cake now. We're going to do the mixture. So I have a cup of flour here. A cup of white spelt flour. I'm going to add a small amount of baking soda or bicarbonate of soda, a 1/4 teaspoon. Just to get a little fluff and a little bit of softness. And of course, bicarbonate of soda is very, very alkaline. Then I'm going to put my thyme. This thyme is about a tablespoon, I would say. A tablespoon of thyme. You want lots and lots of thyme. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add all of my ingredients and then I'm going to add the water. Now I'm going to add my onions. Trying to get everything in there. I'm going to add my green onions. And I'm going to chop up my habanero. This is 1 habanero. And I just wanted to tell you again that the red habanero is the hottest one. Then the yellow or the orange, and the green is the least hot. So you should start adding habanero to your dishes because it has such a great flavor. I want to chop this up really fine. This is so delicious in anything that is fishy. Habaneros. So I chopped up my habaneros here and I'm now going to put them in the bowl. And just make sure that maybe you can use gloves because this tend to burn sometimes, sting your fingers. So here we have our flour, a little bit of baking soda, thyme, red onions, green onions or scallions, and our habanero pepper. And I'm going to put some coarse sea salt, 2 teaspoons of coarse sea salt. I love coarse sea salt for this dish. And now I'm going to add my mushroom pieces. And I'm going to mix it in. Let the flour coat the vegetables. Because this is going to be mostly mushrooms or fish, not flour. The mushrooms are the stars here. And now I'm going to add a cup of water. Okay, so I think that I needed to add some more flour here, and I also took my scissor and I started chopping this up into smaller pieces because I said, I think I need the pieces to be a little bit smaller. You know, this is a thing when you freestyle like I am, you know, things like that happen, and this is the first time I'm doing this. So the measurements that I gave you, 1 cup of flour to a cup of water with the measurements of the mushrooms, I think we need like another 3/4 cups of flour because this is quite a lot of mushrooms. So we're gonna mix in the other 3/4 cups of flour. Okay, so bear with me here. I think this is looking better, and this is looking the way that I want it to look. So you can chop up the mushrooms a bit smaller. So this is ready now for frying. This is ready for frying. I like the way it feels. I like the way it looks with the extra flour. So it's 1 3/4 cups flour to the two cartons of which I think is 3.5 ounces, 7 ounces of mushrooms, and the other measurements that I gave you. Like I said, if you need measurements, I should have it on my website on the recipes. So I'm going to put my recipes now on my website. So folks, we're gonna fry this fish cake now. Okay, so I'm using my scoop here, and this oil is smoking. You do not want cold oil because you don't want your fish cake to soak up any oil. So I'm going to put this in here. I'm using my little scoop that I use for my falafel, but I don't want it round, so I'm going to take the scoop and press it down because I want my fish cake, I want it flat. So this little pan here, my favorite iron pan, is going to hold about 3 of those. Push that down. I want it flat. And you fry this until it gets brown. You're gonna see the brown around the edges, and then you turn it, and then so they should be about 6-7 minutes both sides. So this is starting to brown. I'm gonna turn it. See, beautiful color. Beautiful color. Oh my God. And it smells so much like fish. You swear that I'm frying actual fish. It smells so fishy. It's just amazing. Out of this world. Out of this world. Nice, beautiful color. This is the mushrooms here. I can see it. You know, this is also like a crab cake, just that you fry and you bake it. So either way. So we're gonna let this fry for another 3 or 5 minutes, and I hope you try this. This is delicious. This is the second time I'm doing this, and it's so delicious. If you gave this to somebody, they wouldn't know that you don't have real actual fish in this fish cake. I'm telling you. So you fish cake lovers out there, you have to try this. It is absolutely out of this world. Take care and keep on cooking.